Hello, today I want to invite you on a journey into one of astrology's most mysterious realms, the 12th house. Now, this house is often misunderstood as just the house of loss, isolation, or hidden enemies. But the 12th house holds a far richer, more profound meaning, one that was much talked about by ancient philosophers, occultists, and astrologers across cultures and centuries. And they saw these hidden realms as crucial to true knowledge. So what is the 12th house? Well, it is the house that governs the unseen realms, our subconscious spiritual dimensions, and the parts of ourselves that remain hidden from daily view. The 12th house is unlike any other. It stands at the edge of the known world, cloaked in mystery, silence, and shadows. It is usually called the most challenging house in astrology, as it is the realm of the unseen, secret enemies, invisible burdens, karmic debts, and the quiet prisons we build within ourselves. Here lie the exiles, both literal and spiritual, the outcasts, the dreamers, the lost, and those who serve from behind the veil. It holds the energies of confinement, whether through illness, institutions, or the labyrinth of the mind. Wild beasts of the inner world roam here: fear, temptation, nostalgia, the ache for something eternal. And yet this same house is a sacred gate to transcendence. When many planets gather in the 12th, they often call the soul inward, into seclusion, silence, and spiritual retreat. It may manifest as mysticism, poetic longing, or even a path that strays into the shadows, into crime, addiction, or sacrifice. This house does not follow the rules of the material world. It belongs to the invisible currents of fate. In Egypt, the 12th house was aligned with the Duat, the mysterious underworld where the soul transforms, dies, and is reborn. It is the realm of the dead. It was not feared but respected as a sacred passage. The Amduat, this is a funerary text, describes the Duat as having 12 divisions corresponding to the 12 hours of the sun god Ra's journey through it each night. And this journey involved navigating challenges, battling Apep, demon of chaos, and ultimately being reborn at dawn. Ptolemy, the great astrologer of the Middle Ages, described the 12th house as the house of enemies, but these enemies were as much internal as external, like fears, illusions, and karmic lessons waiting to be faced. Hermetic philosophy and occult tradition see the 12th house as the veil between worlds, the place where the spiritual and material meet. In the Emerald Tablet, also known as Tabula Smaragdina, Hermes Trismegistus wrote, "That which is below is like that which is above," and this can be seen as a reminder that hidden depths reflect higher truths. Vettius Valens, writing in the 2nd century, called it the place of misfortune, but he also said that to some, these very things are opportunities for growth and transformation. In Brihad Parashara Horashastra, the classic Vedic text, it says that the 12th house indicates losses, but losses that liberate, the expenditure of ego, the dissolution of material bondage. So yes, it shows where we may suffer loss, but it's often the kind of loss that leads to transcendence. In Vedic astrology, this house is called Vaya Bhava. It is the house of expenditure, not only financial, but also emotional and karmic. It is one of the moksha houses, or houses of spiritual liberation, linked also to spiritual practice and past life residues. Now, planets placed here often act behind the scenes, and the ruler of the 12th tells us what the soul is quietly working through. Now, when the malefics like Saturn, Rahu, Ketu are placed here, there may be more karmic challenges, but also greater spiritual growth, especially when approached with discipline and detachment. Now, benefics like Jupiter or Venus can bring peaceful solitude, healing, and even foreign travels or mystical insights. So while the 12th house can show things like prisons or hospitals, it also shows ashrams, temples, monasteries, places where the ego dissolves. And here's the paradox. The 12th house is about what's hidden, but also what connects us to the infinite. It's not always about loss in the negative sense. It's about what must be released in order to be free. 12th house also shows sleep and dreams. In Vedic astrology, good 12th house placement gives sound sleep, vivid dreams, even access to past life memories. Then foreign travel and immigration, as it rules life in foreign lands. Charity and giving, money spent through the 12th house is considered spiritually admirable. Mysticism and inner work. This is the house of ashrams, retreats, and spiritual solitude. And hidden talents are seen here. Benefic planets here often show a person who works behind the scenes or has hidden support. It is the house of surrender, and sometimes the surrender is painful, but usually it is exactly what opens the door to grace. When the ruler of the 12th finds its way into the 4th, 6th, or 8th house, and especially when under hard aspects, its lessons grow heavier, more ancestral, more entwined with body, soul, and the karma of lifetimes. But even here, ancient wisdom whispers. Like the Tao teaches, it is in the stillness, in peace, in the quiet discipline of restraint that even the most entangled threads can be gently undone. The 12th house is less a punishment and more a reserved sanctuary, an internal hermitage where true freedom and insight can blossom. Now, through grounded practices like rest, compassion, discipline, or silence, we can convert unconscious burdens into quiet power. Now, this house shows us what's hidden, our inner world, our spiritual life, and very often what we are not fully conscious of. Now, depending on your rising sign, the themes of this house shift, kind of quietly shaping your experience of solitude, sacrifice, and healing. So I'll go quickly through the 12 rising signs, and this will be a very broad interpretation. Aries rising finds strength in quiet moments. Instead of acting fast, these people learn to use their energy inward. Taurus rising, well, while others worry about comfort, these individuals build peace within, a quiet space to feel safe. For Gemini rising, mind becomes sharp in solitude. Writing helps, but they also need to share clearly with others. For Cancer rising, healing comes from quiet time, dreams, and listening to their inner voice. For Leo rising, creativity doesn't go away, it just turns inward. These people learn to shine for love, not applause. For Virgo rising, growth comes from small daily habits. Mindfulness and routine help them stay grounded. For Libra rising, alone time helps them rebalance. It is how they stay true to themselves behind the charm. Scorpio rising are quiet truth seekers. In stillness, they uncover deep and hidden things. Now, for Sagittarius rising, real journey is inward. They search for meaning more than places. Capricorn rising individuals use their drive to help others quietly. Discipline becomes a way to serve something bigger. For Aquarius rising people, their inner rebel finds calm. Change starts with simple daily actions. And Pisces rising individuals move between dream and reality, turning empathy into helpful care. Now let's talk about one of the most revealing things you can look at. Where is the ruler of the 12th house placed? This tells us where 12th house themes will show up in your life: isolation, service, karma, foreignness, or spiritual focus. And let's go house by house, and this part will also move quickly. Just note how each placement shifts the expression. So ruler of the 12th in the first house. Well, the person embodies 12th house energy. One might appear private, mysterious, or deeply spiritual. There's often a deep connection to past lives. Now, in the second house, money might flow out unexpectedly, and this could give a charitable nature or hidden family issues. In the third house, siblings may be distant or spiritual. There is a noticeable interest in writing or learning about hidden knowledge. In the fourth house, the home might feel like a place of retreat or even isolation. There is a tendency to move far from the place of birth. In the fifth house, children or creativity bring karmic lessons, and this usually indicates hidden artistic talents or spiritual creativity. In the sixth house, losses come through work or health, but it also gives spiritual growth through service. Also, hidden enemies may become visible. In the seventh house, relationships can be karmic or with foreigners. Partners may have a spiritual or secretive quality. In the eighth house, we see deep transformation. The person may explore the occult or face powerful hidden fears. Ruler of the 12th in the ninth house shows spiritual learning, pilgrimage, or studying in foreign lands. One may seek liberation through philosophy or religion. In the 10th house, a career that deals with the hidden is seen, like psychology, healing, spiritual work, hospitals, or success can come in secret or later in life. Now, in the 11th house, support comes from hidden benefactors or foreign networks. Friendships may be karmic or distant. Now, in the 12th house, this is a double dose. It's very spiritual. This could indicate someone drawn to monastic life or foreign lands. It's great for mystics, healers, or researchers. So planets in the 12th can act more subtly behind the scenes or in the inner world. They may be less visible to others or even to the person at first, but they often carry deep karmic significance or spiritual purpose. And here's a brief look at each planet when placed in the 12th house. If Sun is in the 12th house, the identity can be shaped by solitude, silence, sacrifice, or spiritual service. One may feel unseen or prefer to lead from behind the scenes, can be drawn to healing, art, or mysticism, also may need privacy to recharge. If Moon is here, this shows a deeply emotional placement. One may absorb others' feelings easily or need solitude to process emotions. One is intuitive, dreamy, and often tied to past like life memory or ancestral healing. Now, Mercury in the 12th shows a quiet thinker. The mind turns inward with a strong inner dialogue. Writers, researchers, or those who work in silence usually have this placement. Now, one can be telepathic or struggle with overthinking in isolation. Now, Venus in the 12th indicates hidden love, secret romances, or love of the divine. This is a very artistic and compassionate placement. People may give more than they receive or need to learn boundaries in love and giving. Also, very strong need for sweet foods is found here. Mars in this house shows that energy is turned inward, sometimes leading to passive-aggressive behavior or inner frustration. When channeled, it can produce tireless spiritual warriors or people who work for the forgotten. Now, if Jupiter is here, well, this is considered to be one of the best planets, if not best, to have here, especially in Vedic astrology. This placement brings blessings from hidden sources, divine protection, and a natural affinity for spiritual wisdom. One may find wealth or peace abroad or in solitude. Now, Saturn in the 12th indicates loneliness, isolation, or karmic debts tied to institutions or exile. But over time, this builds spiritual maturity. Great for those who work in service roles behind the curtain or through endurance and discipline. Now, Uranus in the 12th shows unconventional inner life. Sudden awakenings or psychic insight can come through solitude. One may find liberation in breaking away from social norms, usually secretly or over time. And Neptune in the 12th shows the dreamer, mystic, or visionary. Noticeable is strong connection to other realms, often psychic or artistic. One needs strong grounding or risk of confusion, escapism, or losing boundaries is possible. So planets in the 12th house aren't lost, they're just inward facing. And when we take time for honest self-reflection, what's hidden can become a source of quiet power, deep wisdom, and even grace. Now, I always talk about philosophers who supported astrology, but here is one who, as far as I know, did not. Plotinus did not support house-based astrology, but his metaphysics deeply inspired later mystics and astrologers who reinterpreted the 12th house not just as misfortune, but as a necessary dark night of the soul, a stage in the soul's ascent. The stars do not command us, but they do remind us. As Plotinus taught, the soul is not a slave to the heavens, but a mirror of their harmony. The chart is not a sentence, it is a song echoing the soul's journey through time. Astrology does not define your life, but it does reveal the rhythms beneath it, the shadows you carry, the light you're called to remember. Even in the quiet mystery of the 12th house, in solitude, loss, or unseen battles, there is not doom, but a doorway, a place where spirit remembers itself. So when you look up to the sky, do not search for answers carved in stone, but for symbols that help you see your own reflection more clearly, and may your path be guided not by fate, but by wisdom. The 12th house is the space between worlds. It's the breath before the new beginning, the silence before the next chapter. It's not about prediction, but it is about connection to something larger and quieter than we're used to. Now, most people avoid this place because it asks for stillness, but in stillness we meet the truth. The beauty of astrology is that it gives language to what we already feel. We are not our struggles, our isolation, confusion, or even our past, but we are the one watching it all. And the 12th house reminds us when we surrender the noise, when we give ourselves permission to step back from the world, something else steps forward, like clarity, purpose, a kind of soul peace. So if something resonated today, hold on to it, sit with it, and when you're ready, come back, not just to astrology, but to yourself. This is just one house of 12. The chart is a living map, and you are the traveler. If this house fell deep, there's more ahead. Stay curious, stay open, and don't be afraid to go inward. That's where the real magic begins. I'd love to hear what the 12th house means to you. So speak your thoughts, your questions, or even your own stories in the comments. And if you'd like to keep exploring astrology and mysticism in a way that's soulful, reflective, and real, subscribe, like, and share this with someone who walks that same quiet path. There's always so much more to uncover. The chart is only just beginning to speak. See you next week. Bye.